everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream here. Sorry for the delay here for the playoffs, but we are finally back here on the action and finally in the conclusion day as we reach into the finale here as we attend the semifinals and the finals respectively here, ladies and gentlemen. There will be a total of 4 races for today, so I do hope that everyone is excited for that. And of course, it will be your host here, Press Sukasa, who will be leading for everyone here. I'll be the one commentating, and hopefully everything's gonna be okay. I'll be trying to adjust the audio as best I can. So hopefully you guys are going to be fine there. Alright. Okay, so for today we have, I guess we said there's 4 matches, but the semifinals will have 3. And for today's matches here, our first one will be Press Sakasa versus Mia versus Random, with Press Sakasa getting first seed. Of course, had a pick at the easier seeded races here. Now there's 3 races for semifinals and 1 race for the final. So just to explain the format here for everyone, as you can see here. Okay, so you see this is the matchups here, ladies and gentlemen. Only the number 1 will qualify into the final slot here, so it really is a must-win race. And this is seeded according to the round robin results. So since Press Sakasa ended first place, he did get the first slot here. Second place here was Roy Trigger. Then third was Rammer. Then there was a tie for 4th, and based on results, we determined that Protectricus would be the lower seeded player here, who would occupy the last 3rd placer, at least the 3rd seeded one among the semifinals here. And of course, Rubugachu got 8th from the tiebreaker, and Random got 9th, so that means he's seeded into the first race here, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, we shall begin here shortly. So now have all of our Umamusume ready and prepared here, hopefully. We just got a good check here. Apologies there, I forgot about the moods, so I will fix that shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Hold on, let me turn off the music. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in Umamusume. Now, we are going to introduce our last contestants here, ladies and gentlemen. The number 1 Umamusume of the club so far. Not exactly in results, but in terms of dominance, she has definitely been the nightmare that people have been facing here. It is Christmas Augury Cap here from Press Sakasa, with a whopping, I will believe, 3 wins for herself. It's either 3 or 2 wins, if I recall correctly here. Yes, it has been 3 wins here for this Christmas Augury. It's really been strong so far, but has had some moments of faltering when that Festive Miracle does not proc. She has fallen behind quite greatly here, so we will be looking to see if Christmas Augury will pop in a Festive Miracle. For the other Umamusume here, I will say best chance of them for winning against this Tyrant would be to see if that Festive Miracle will not proc. Next here is the Rice Shower Ace from Random, who has shown some success in this cup. Hasn't really had any individual wins herself. It has been the other Uma Musume here for Random, who has stepped up in a big way, especially here on Majuro Ardan. But still though, she has found herself some solid footing in these races and looking for redemption for herself. Perhaps able to create a big upset would be a miracle. But yeah, definitely has been an eye out here for Ardan and Tamina Cross. Next up here is Simply Rudolph here for Mia. Has had some solid success so far in this cup, I will say. Getting a 3rd place, 6th place in the recent one, however. Looking for a very, very competitive placing here. Of course, though, when it comes to Mia's team, there is one and only to talk about. But next up here is Mejuro Ardan, who has stepped up in a big way here for Random name. Let's see if she is able to compete in this very stacked match here. It will be quite a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. But still, Metro Ardan has looked very good as the matches went on. So maybe the success will continue here for the Metro. So here's Agnes Tachyon for Tsukasa, who has been, I will say, been okay-ish so far. Didn't have a single win among the Uma Musume here, but hasn't been really been disappointing in terms of placement here for Tsukasa. Sure, had an 8th place, but overall had some solid ones as well, especially recently, who got a, I think, 2nd place, 3rd place in the recent race, in the final race of the round robin. So now we'll see if Agnes Tachyon maybe could be a hero for Tsukasa if push comes to shove, or would be a pretty solid placement coming in here, showing up in a more respectable light. Next up here is Tamina Cross here for Random name, who did win Random his one and only win in this cup. It's really gonna be looking to be the ace for this team, ladies and gentlemen. An end runner, but when it comes to end running, nothing is as strong as Naruto Taishin with 2 wins in this cup. So far, so good in terms of end runner. She has been one above all. That last spurt has been so formidable against all other Uma Musume, and it is quite a nightmare to handle. Next up is Naruto Brian here for Mia, who has had some mixed results so far. Really hasn't found exact success, especially for Mia, who has not really been winning in the recent matches here. And so really gonna have to look through to see if they can get carried by one and only Major Orion here, the champion, one and only person who have won a race here for Mia. But again, Mia hasn't really been able to strike gold in the recent matches here in the round robin, with Mia's last win being in the 1st round, getting 2nd place 4 races in a row. The momentum really isn't in favor here of Mia. So now we begin the 1st race here of the semifinals. Ladies and gentlemen, cheer for your favorite Uma Musume or your favorite team. Now kick off into the semifinals here, ladies and gentlemen. As we say once again, it is a Tokyo Turf 2,300 meter race here, medium. It is left-sided in the rainy and soft turf. So now we begin here. So Uma Musume prepare themselves in the paddock. It is do or die here, ladies and gentlemen. It is do or die. Our favorite here seems to be Naruto Brian according to the game. Number 2 is Agnes Tachyon. However, the one stands in the middle here. The ace among aces. As we will begin soon. A one and only 3-time winner. Late start here for Metro Ryan in such a crucial race will be very detrimental here, as well as a breath of fresh air at the very start of the race. Not exactly the best, however, comes the aces here, ladies and gentlemen. It is Rice Shower. We can't stop doing that. It is Right Shower to lead the pack here, ladies and gentlemen. So you push into the first corner. A lot of corner skills being proc here. So far, so good. If you're gonna count here, ladies and gentlemen, beat through the counter recovery skills. Christmas Ogre will be popping. And across, falling back at the very end here. Major Ryan finally able to pick it up. So far here in the mid race, across the mid race, it is Right Shower in the front. Agnes Tachyon in the second place here. Third goes to Sibylle Rudolph. Then Major Ardan. Then it is Major Ryan, Narita Bryan here, as Major Ryan really picking up a lot of positioning strength here. Looking for a very, very strong finish here. So far, so good here as the positions have been very, very contested. Agnes Tachyon now taking the first place here. So, ladies and gentlemen, will the Festive Miracle proc? I'm not too sure yet, and it doesn't seem like it. This might be a chance here for the rest of the Uma Musume. And in the corner, here comes the Let's Pump Some Iron here as the Major Ryan will begin her last spurt, but look at the back. Who is it gonna be? Agnes Tachyon at the front. It is still Agnes Tachyon. So Dominator comes through. This might be a very clutch situation here for the rest of the Uma Musume. Can they get the upset to send themselves straight up? It is Sibylle Rudolph here. Sibylle Rudolph in the front. It is Mia to be able to upset. What a big upset here for Mia. Able to take down the undefeated here. Unable to proc the Festive Miracle. Press Tsukasa will be eliminated from this competition, as well as Random. What an upset here, ladies and gentlemen. And the Sibylle Rudolph to close it out. First place goes to Mia with that Sibylle Rudolph. Second place goes to the Ogre Cap, who was not able to proc that Festive Miracle. Third place goes to Agnes Tachyon. Fourth place goes to Narita Bryan. Fifth to Major Ryan. Sixth to Major Ardan. Seventh to Tamina Cross. Eighth to Right Shower. And ninth to Narita Bryan here, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Mia making it into the finals here, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to do it. What a big upset. Tsukasa just unfortunate with the skill procs. That's the danger of running Christmas Ogre. If she does not get the spurt, it has not able to make it through. But Mia, such success here will be massive. She arrives in the grand finals here with someone who was really unexpected. Next up here will be Roy Trigger, Ray, and Rugu Gachu. So we move on to the next race here of the semifinals. Next up here, the favorite of them all here, but first and foremost, the Meisho Doto here of Roy Trigger. Has not found much success, but so far so good. Meisho Doto, despite the very poor results she's shown so far, able to finally be a bit more competitive coming into her last race, getting fourth place in the final round. So looking for a bit of a better placing here, ladies and gentlemen. Next up here is Agnes Tachyon with Ray. As so far, this Agnes Tachyon has been pretty middling, but has not been that bad overall, I will say. He was able to actually secure Ray a crucial win to secure his spot into the playoffs. So really, Miss Agnes Tachyon looking to be a hero once again for the rest of his team. Hopefully not ridden with poor results this time. But when it comes to success, winning ticket is the one to look out for here for the team of Roy Trigger. Has been such a strong Uma Musume, taking win after win here with, I believe, 2 wins for herself in the round robin stage. So keep an eye out for this Uma Musume. Next up here is TM Opera O with Rugu Gachu. The ace here or Rugu Gachu, but so far so good. I mean, so far when it comes to her success, this ace has not yet picked up a win in the round robin stage, and now put in such a position in the semifinals. We shall see if she's gonna be able to climb up, or will it not be enough here, ladies and gentlemen. She really needs to show up now, or things might not be good here for the team of Rugugachu. But when it comes to aces here, Ray with the King Halo here, the champion meeting a hero herself, got second place in that last match. However, does have a win herself and looking for a strong finish once more here, Ray. Yeah, we'll see if the champion meeting veteran will be able to find some success here. But when it comes to winnings here, Nice Nature with 2 wins on the board herself, I believe. Yes, it is gonna be another late surger here for Roy Trigger. These two Umamusume have been so strong and have been looking so hard to defeat. But an upset has happened here in the first race of semifinals. Let's see if the second one will happen again. And what are Umamusume to do it? Agnes Digital here for Rugugachu, who has shown very strong prowess, however has not been able to show much strength in the recent races. We'll see if Agnes Digital is going to be able to find a star in the road, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is Simile Rudolph here, who has not really been the best performer here for Ray. 8th place in the recent one, as well as a very middling 7th place. Mr. Simile Rudolph is going to be kinda leading the middle pack here, maybe playing spoiler perhaps. The Rugugachu with the Augury Cap now, who has not been able to find success until the very last race, the tiebreaker match. This Augury Cap showed up in a massive way and was the hero that Rugugachu really needed in the end there. So really, this Augury Cap looking very strong with a lot of momentum in her back. So now we begin the semifinals match. Second race here, ladies and gentlemen, between Rugugachu, Ray, and Roy Trigger here, the triple R once more. So we begin here. Next race here of the Tengu Cup 2026 March edition. As we begin here, ladies and gentlemen, the race as the number 1 favorite here, the Agnes Digital here of Rugugachu. Next up is Roy Trigger, winning ticket, and Meisho Doto here of Roy being highlighted. But yeah, it is a late surger party here. Eyes on this Agnes Digital, eyes on the winning ticket, the Nice Nature in this race, as well as the King Halo. It is 4 MVPs with the late surgers, with the championships, with the wins, I will say. So far, so good. Comes to the Pace Chaser line. It is Agnes Tachyon leading the road here for Ray, as the Augury Cap soon to follow here for Rugugachu. Third here is Meisho Doto. Then it is that Simile Rudolph. Then Rugugachu's ace, the Opera O, in the 5th place position. The backline, not really much movement here as we enter the mid-race soon. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my word, what a lead coming out here from the Agnes Tachyon. But Augury Cap looking to challenge this very aggressively. Shall see if that's gonna be enough here as there. Oh, there's the OTM Opera O positioning, putting herself in the 3rd position now. Nice Nature though in the very middle of the pack, looking very strong. The Agnes Digital at the very back of the line here. Same with the King Halo. It's going to be quite a rough situation if they let these Umamusume get that last spurt. They really are looking for here, ladies and gentlemen, as we enter the last corner. Ladies and gents, who will prevail? As now we hit the 2nd corner. Here we go in the last spurt. Who is going to be the leader here, ladies and gentlemen? It is still Agnes Tachyon here with Augury Cap looking for the contest, but at the back line, it is looking like Nice Nature to push this one. Meisho Doto will be using her unique here. of the I never goof off. Is it gonna be enough here for this ace? It is still for 4th place here as it goes for the push. It's now looking at 3rd place here, but it is Nice Nature at the very front here, but the Agnes Digital at the back, really trying to contest, but I think it's not gonna be enough here. Winning Ticket and Nice Nature for Roy Trigger. It's at the front. Nice Nature will secure it at the very end here. Very, very close. Still, despite much efforts here for the rest of the Uma Musume, the favorite will secure the win this time. It is Roy Trigger entering the finals, joining Mia in the grand finals race here, ladies and gentlemen. And the aces here have been able to really match up in the end. 1st place goes to Nice Nature, 2nd to Winning Ticket, 3rd to Meisho Doto. It is a sweep here for Roy Trigger. 4 goes to Agnes Digital, 5th goes to Agnes Tachyon, 6th goes to King Halo, 7th goes to TM Opera O, 8 goes to Ogre Cap, and 9 goes to Sibylle Rudolph. Once again, congratulations to Roy Trigger, showing absolute dominance in his race and looking to be one hell of a favorite as they enter the grand final slot. We now enter the last race of the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Rammer, Torrent, and Tetrakis leading the charge here, ladies and gentlemen. As we begin with the Manhattan Cafe, who upon arrival did secure her win, but in the next round has gotten a 2nd place only behind Hayabe. And as we haven't seen, kind of one thing we've kind of noticed here in this cup, late surgers and end runners have been total domination here. Of course, do have to ignore, despite the loss from the Christmas Augury, one of the only pace chasers to really lead the charge and take very strong wins. But with her out of the way, it is the late surger party as well as end runners in the end. When it comes to Manhattan Cafe, with a scoreline of 1 win and 1 2nd place, it is looking to be a favorite and a monster in this one. But next up here is the Hishi Amazon here for Torrent. What can I say about her? She has not really found much success, despite being in a winning team, 9th place in round 5, and as well as a very, very disappointing 9th place in the 4th. I think things will repeat, history will repeat itself as we come into this semifinals round. Next up here is Stamina Cross here for Torrent. When it comes to Torrent, the Stamina Cross as well as the Taiki Shuttle have been the 2 heroes for him. With back-to-back wins here, at least. I mean, not back-to-back, but with Torrent here. Taiki Shuttle has been the MVP, but the first win for Torrent, I believe, was this Stamina Cross, so do not underestimate this Uma Musume at all costs. Next up here is the Agnes Digital, the S-Rank Uma Musume, as its crowning title. Has finally found her form in the end of the races here. Didn't exactly win her final race, but did succeed in round 3, I believe. Yeah, now as we move on into this race, she really needs to pick up her slack here. 3rd places are not gonna be enough here. Gonna really need to get that win here. Next up here is Taiki Shuttle, the ace here for Torrent, and the one and only special Uma Musume, who has climbed up the ranks and put herself in a very, very strong position. So we'll see if she's able to replicate her success here. I will say she can be laid a very strong spoiler. Next up is Tetrakis Ogre Cap, who was able to be such a strong point, arriving here as a substitute. Not really been the most successful Uma Musume exactly. However, it has not been a disappointing one, with a 2nd place on her back, as well as a Yeah, really just that second place she's really holding on to, as well as the third place from that fifth round. This Ogre Cap may look to be a power point here for Tetricus. And now Rammer with the Grass Wonder, the evil wonder, as they would say. The buffer is strong. No need to talk about the results. She's here for one reason and one reason only, and it is chaos in the court. Next up is Agnes Tachyon here for Tetricus. I will say she has been a very interesting opponent here for the rest of the Umusume, getting a second place as well as an 8th place. Really has been very, very inconsistent. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot be talking about Rammer's team without Admire Vega, the one and only two-time winner for Rammer. Despite the arrival here of Manhattan Cafe, Admire Vega showed very strong prowess as she was able to win the last race here for Rammer. And now, in the must-win scenario, Admire Vega will be looking to be another ace here for Rammer's team. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin now the last race of the semifinals here. Who will enter the finals race and claim themselves that championship? We shall see who will take the last spot here in the Tengu Cup March. Now we're here in the paddock here. Eyes on Admire Vega. Eyes on this Manhattan Cafe. Comes to Torrent, I think you should look at. Obviously, I think Tamina Cross deserves some recognition, but really should be eyeing out on the Taiki Shuttle. But when it comes next up here, though, it is I believe Torrent. Yes, Torrent. Should be looking at that Manhattan, the Taiki Shuttle as it comes to here. But when it comes to for Tetricus, it is the S-Rank Umumusme as well as the Ogre Cap, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of which, they have taken first position immediately in the Pace Chaser line, as the Umumusme at the back have gathered up together. First corner, so far so good. Not a lot of skills being procced. Few POCs here and there. Essentially being procced here by the Taiki Shuttle. Moving up at the backline though, I think that's Manhattan Cafe. Yes, Manhattan Cafe as well as Ayabe in such strong positions now. They're constantly moving up the line. This is going to be one interesting race here. Manhattan Cafe already so close to the pack. The Pace Chaser line has split up very much as it hit the mid-race, ladies and gents. There's a free lane here for Ayabe. As here comes Manhattan Cafe with her unique, pushing in with the chasing after you, as she now looks to position herself at the front. Her and Ayabe, as well as this yeah, this is looking very, very strong now. Still though, at the very front here is the Agnes Digital, looking very poised with her positioning to keep the charge going. It is a group of Umumusme here. The blockings might be a bit of a problem. The Hishi Amazon just looking for a straight charge here. Taiki Shuttle coming through as well. The shooting for victory will be fought, and it is gonna be a push here. But look at that at the very front. Who is going to be the hero here of the night? The Agnes Digital is really running her straight here, but the backline are chasing desperately. It is Ayabe, it is Manhattan Cafe, as well as the Taiki Shuttle, but it lead will close down Manhattan Cafe at the very front now. Manhattan Cafe at the front, and it is Rammer. It is gonna be enough. Rammer secures his spot in the finals. No upsets will be accepted in the last race here. Manhattan Cafe showing prowess in the end here, with Rammer securing his spot in the Grand Finals. Congratulations here to Rammer. So now we continue to tally up the wins here. Manhattan Cafe taking first place. Second is Admire Vega. Next up is the Ogre Cap. Fourth is the Agnes Digital. 5th, Nike Shuttle. 6th, Agnes Tachyon again here, but Agnes Tachyon. 7th here is Stamina Cross. 8th is Grass Wonder. And 9th is Kishi Amazon. Again, once more, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Rammer. As now we have our grand finalists here, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Mia, Roy Trigger, and Rammer. As we kick things off, but of course I do have to prepare this one. And okay, ladies and gentlemen, please await the preparation here. We will now lead into the grand finals of this race. So we'll be back. See you in a bit.
Done.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are excited here as we now almost conclude the grand finals. I mean the grand finals here and Tengu Club March as a whole. Now, of course, hopefully your Musumes are all ready to cheer for the last remaining ones here, ladies and gents. But now we begin the grand finals of the Uma Musume Tengu Cup 2026 March. It is going to be between Mia, the major spoiler here, able to upset Prasukasa in that semifinals match, coming up here in a big way, but it was not even the Major Orion to do so. It was the Simply Rudolph, but first we need to talk about the rest of the Major Orion. Of course, despite the failure that she had in that semifinals match, still looking really a strong member coming out here. We arrive in the grand finals here, ladies and gentlemen. Meicho Doto is next, who didn't have much of a big showing, but still had a lot to didn't have much of a problem on the running, at least compared to previously. So perhaps Meicho Doto may be able to make some sort of stand here in the grand finals. Next up here is Naruto Brian here for Mia, who didn't really do much in the recent ones. And looking to just have a consistent placing, perhaps can push in and make a hero moment here, ladies and gentlemen. Next up here is Nice Nature, who got second place in the semifinals. I believe, if I understand correctly. It was either semifinals or was it no, it was either first place or second place here for the Nice Nature, but she has shown extreme talent for Roy Trigger and looking to be a dangerous opponent now that she has arrived here. Honestly, consider Nice Nature as well as her partner to be the favorites of this whole club. We shall see with Manhattan Cafe's arrival. Next up here is Grass Wonder with the debuffer here for Rammer. No need to explain. She's here to slow everything down. Next up here is Manhattan Cafe here for Rammer. Was able to secure that first place for her team in a very strong fashion. It was very competitive in the end there, but still Rammer able to secure that win, and again looking poised for the championship this time with the Manhattan Cafe. Next up is the winning ticket, as I said, the partner of Nice Nature. I'm pretty sure who did win the semi-final match, and she is looking very strong here. Has not faltered and will not continue to falter, I believe. But of course though, with the competition in the grand finals, you will never know who will win. A lot of late surgers coming through here. Next up here is Admire Vega, the lone end runner, and the other ace here of Rammer, who was able to win back to back, as well as really strong second place finishes. If she's able to get her last spurt here, I believe she will be what a menace here. However, when Admire Vega did come match up against Roy the first time, was not really the most successful last spurt, so hopefully able to redeem herself in this grand finals round, ladies and gents. Next up here is the hero of Mia's team, Simboli Rudolph, who was able to clutch up in a big way in that final spurt. And ladies and gentlemen, can only put a lot of respect in her name now that we have arrived in this place here. It is her doing, it is her placing that Mia has arrived here, and hopefully she's able to push them over the line once more. So now we close in on the rest of the Uma Musume. We are now going to hit the final race here, ladies and gentlemen, the grand finals. It is Mia versus Rammer versus Roy Trigger here, ladies and gentlemen. Who will win? Roy will be the favorite. However, favorites don't mean much in the face of heroism and clutch factor here. So we now begin the last opening of races here for these Uma Musume. As we enter the paddock. And again, once more, take a look at these Uma Musume who are now participating in the grand finals here. It is a winning ticket. Who is the major favorite here? Manhattan Cafe, the other favorite as well. And Mia, the ace of Major Ryan, the ace of Mia. But we still have to look into that Nice Nature, into Ayabe, into Simboli Rudolph perhaps, to make a difference here, ladies and gentlemen. So now we begin the last race here, as now we enter the first corner soon. Is still at the straight here early on, and look at the pushback here at the start. A lot of in the line here. Simply Rudolph taking the very strong position at the start here, entering the first corner. A good amount of skills being procced here. Very slow amounts of skills being procced here. This could be a very big detriment here the rest of the Uma Musume, but it's on being procced by Manhattan Cafe as we enter the mid race. Shall see what will be the rest of this battle. Sibylle Rudolph leading the charge by a massive lead. Next up is Narita Bryan, Meisho Doto. Then it is Manhattan Cafe and Major Ryan clashing heads here as we enter the last spurt soon. Here comes Manhattan Cafe though, with that unique with the chasing after you. This is going to be a very crucial part of her game plan. Entering in the 5th place, looking to close for more. She is currently in the 3rd place. Ladies and gentlemen, Manhattan Cafe has entered the 3rd placing here of this cup. 2nd place for Manhattan Cafe. Will she be able to make the last stand here for Rammer as we enter the last spurt? Here we go, Manhattan Cafe pushing through. It is Manhattan Cafe. Manhattan Cafe at the very front of the pack. Final corner comes through. I never goof up here from Meisha Dodo. Meisha Dodo, will she be able to make the push? It's not Major Ryan at the very back here to look for the chase. It is Manhattan Cafe with a strong lead here. But here comes Ayabe at the back as well. Where is Winning Ticket? Winning Ticket looking to force here as well with Major Ryan at the close. But Ayabe is the one to compete. Major Manhattan Cafe. It's Manhattan Cafe all the way here with a home stretch chase. Ayabe looks to close in, but it's not gonna be enough. And it is Rammer to secure the Tengu Cup 2026 March champion here. Congratulations here for Rammer, able to close it out with his ace. What a way to win it, Manhattan Cafe, with a strong performance here in the last race. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a sweep here for Rammer. 1st place goes to Manhattan Cafe, 2nd place goes to Admar Vega, 3rd place goes to Major Ryan, 4th place goes to Simbali Rudolph, 5th place goes to Winning Ticket, 6th place goes to Naruto Brian, 7th place goes to Nice Nature, 8th place goes to Meisho Dodo, and 9th place goes to Christ Wonder. Once again, congratulations here to Rammer. And nice try here from Mia, who was able to secure a 2nd place here in the grand finals. And unfortunately here for Roy Trigger, her Uma Musume, his Uma Musume did not stand a very strong finish at the end of this cup, but still a 3rd place is one to be respected. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, with an Uma Musume win, there is that is going to be hit here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, if I could, I would play Uma Musume, Uma Pure Legend here, but I don't have Manhattan Cafe, so perhaps we could do it with another method. But yeah, but still though, congratulations again to Rammer. Thank you very much everyone for participating in this event. I will name everyone who participated, of course. Thank you very much to Ray, Rugugachu, Random, Hakase, Sip Gato, Rammer, Satanta, Roy, Torrent, Tunic, Crazy Dave, Valiona, Tetrakis, and Mia for all participating in this race. Thank you everyone else for watching as well, and for hopefully cheering for your Uma Musumes and your friends, you know, that has been competing in this race. Hopefully we're able to host this in another time, maybe next month if I'm able to and free. But yeah, congratulations, and I hope you all have a good night here. I know it's a short stream, but that's gonna be it here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, once more, congratulations to Rammer, 1st place here in the Tengu Cup, finally able to claim his championship. And yeah, that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you another day. Take care.
光の速さで駆け抜ける衝動は何も犠牲にしても叶えたい強さの覚悟一度きり